Welcome to Sunday's competition here at the 2018 National Collegiate Paintball Association Championships. It's going to be the FAU Owls taking on the Liberty Flames of Maddie Marshall alongside Chris Lasoya here. We're in the semifinals. You got to win to make it on into that final match. And last year we saw FAU in the final match with another team that's in the semifinals right now. It's going to be UCF, the Knights, taking on the UConn Huskies. Now, interesting, these two teams, these four teams actually, they played each other already this weekend. So FAU was triumphant over Liberty. The score was 6-4, so a little chance for redemption here for the #1 ranked team overall in the season with Liberty. But before we get into that action, let's go down and check with our sideline reporter, Lauren Kelly.
Hey guys, so yeah.
Oh wait, so we're not. Well, we'll get to Lauren in a second. But so Chris, FAU Liberty, they already played each other. Liberty not able to win that one. They're the #1 seed. Your thoughts?
Well, you know, I like Liberty. I'm a fan. You know, I've been talking them up all weekend. But you know, big players have big games on big days. It's Sunday. People play a little better on Sundays. The field, you know, they figured the field out. They've been watching each other, coaching each other. So who knows? I mean, that they're both playing. This is going to be a really, really good match. But I got Liberty by 2 on this one.
I think, yeah, man, this is tough to call. I really like what I'm going to take FAU. Just for sake of argument, I feel that Thomas Ryan and Corbin Robson, they played phenomenal in the prelims to get their team here. I mean, the team across the board is pretty strong, but they were the standout stars. You know, Liberty definitely, they've got a lot of firepower too. I really liked how they're playing on the snake side. The D side is the dominant side on this field. We've seen that all weekend long. You can see there on your screen, Liberty, their road to get to this game here in the semifinals. They went 3-1, and you can see there FAU, the loss, but they beat up on Drexel, they beat up on Akron, and a pretty solid game against the Penn State University.
Yeah, you know, Penn State played really, really well, smoking up Tennessee. They 8-0, I think 7-0 that first day. But unfortunately, they weren't able to pull it out yesterday. But these teams right now are playing really, really good. The judging's really, really good. The field's good. It's not raining. So let's hope.
It's not raining yet, so we're going to knock on a little bit of wood.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, yes, it is definitely a windy and cloudy, a little chilly morning here in Orlando, Florida. And we're hoping the rain will stay away. We're going to jump into this first point here. And it looks like a pretty solid break for both squads. No, actually, disaster strikes. I was looking at Liberty, and then I head checked over, and on FAU's side, FAU losing 2 bodies on that D side pretty much immediately. So just 3 bodies left alive for them. They're on the left-hand side of your screen. Liberty on the right-hand side.
Look at the push side, Matty, on that. Look, he's always in the red zone for Liberty.
Well, we've been seeing how dominant that D side is all weekend long, and now they are past the 50-yard line in the red zone on the D side. And the bodies, I mean, this is pretty much a gimme point for Liberty here. They shot those 2 bodies off the break on the D side of the field, and then there goes Thomas Ryan. He's going to get taken out, try to do damage control to get to the stand-up temple, but not able to do it. So there you go. First point's going to go to Liberty.
One thing that impressed me yesterday by Liberty is they were shooting really good lanes. They were getting at least 1 or 2 Gs in the break, and right there that just showed that they still have the lanes down. And, you know, a lot of factors come in with the paint. You know, the weather, you know, the cold, hot, rainy, whatever it might be, humidity, obviously. But it doesn't seem to be affecting those guys whatsoever. They had some gun problems yesterday as well, but I think they might have got through that as well.
Yeah, the weather was, you know, first day, it was kind of hot and humid, typical Florida weather, and then we got some rain yesterday, which brought out a little bit of the humidity in the afternoon. And then now in the morning, the clouds are definitely looking slightly dire, though it should clear up a little bit, and then we're going to potentially get some more rain in the afternoon. But, yeah, right now, FAU, they need to tighten it up. On that D side of the field, you can see here, 74 degrees, a little windy, and 83% humidity. The rain is definitely slowly but surely making its way towards us. Hopefully it just goes around us. That would be great.
Right.
So let's see if FAU can get this one back here against Liberty. But like we just talked about, you have to stay alive on that D side of the field on the break. You just saw right there, that was a textbook example of what we've seen on this field this weekend. If you can shoot a couple bodies on that D side and keep your body alive, the point is going to go incredibly fast for you because that side is so dominant.
But they are very, very aggressive. They get those Gs. They're taking advantage of the full field. One thing I like about this field is the blue, white, and red zones. As you see in your screen, that's what you're talking about. When you're in the red zone, I mean, you're definitely going to be dominating the field. So,
yeah, and you can see there the points per game, FAU and Liberty pretty close as far as total points scored through 4 games. And here comes Liberty bringing their starting 5 players out. Looks like they have Jonathan Neo, Joshua Montanari, Kyle Babb, and David Dickinson, and I think Christian Campbell. He was their go-to guy.
Yeah, he was playing stellar
yesterday on the snake side of the field.
Yes.
Obviously, the D side, incredibly dominant for Liberty. So FAU needs to pick it up. Stay alive here through this break. Liberty is shooting right-handed towards that D side off the break. For FAU, it is left-handed. And looks like now, this time, Liberty is going to shoot one of the Owls, but it's on the snake side of the field. Corbin Robson's going to try to do a fill into the mini wall. Looks like he makes it in clean. Nobody's dropped for Liberty yet. No, they just lost one on the D side. So it's 4-on-4. Actually make that 3-on-4 as Corbin Robson got hit, trying to make the transition. So there are the 3 players left alive for the Owls on your screen. And they are just having a tough go of it here this morning, Chris, as another one walks off.
Yeah, well, Chris Campbell's taking, dominant over here. He's playing really, really well. He takes full advantage of everything he has, holds it down, waits for his players to move up, and now he'll move down the snake. But look at the center. This is where it's at. Look at the run through.
Yeah,
here,
Dickerson's about to launch here, and he picks the correct route. Looks like he was picked up after he got his first kill, but still, I like the route that Dickerson just run. And here comes Christian Campbell trying to close it out and get a shot on the last player in that stand-up temple.
Is
here
it 1-on-1?
from the snake side.
Oh, it's 2-on-1, man. I'm sorry.
Well, they also have a back player here on the snake side.
Oh, I am blind this morning.
Should be a body on that D side as well, too. But so here comes Campbell trying to cut the gap. Cuts down low, and there he finally gets his shot. So nice job continuing here to put the full court press on FAU, and it's coming down to the magic of those off-the-break shots for Liberty. As it looks like Montanari is going to hang the flag. As long as he's clean, should be another point for Liberty. But Chris, just domination off the break here. Let's check out this replay. You can here see Christian. Actually, no, this is Montanari. But no, that was Dickerson. So that was Dickerson on the run-through, David Dickerson. That was the initial run-through. Was about 2-on-4 at that particular point. Dickerson runs through, cuts the right lane, and just got a little unlucky that the D1 player shifted his gun just as he came through on that side. He still got his man, though, and just another textbook beautiful point here from Liberty.
Right, and you made a good point there. Full court press, and those guys actually, you get Christian Campbell up here in the snake. He takes his time, waits for his players to come up on the D side and up in the middle. Then they move all together. That's one thing we didn't see much of on a few teams, and that's why they're not playing on Sunday, because they weren't doing that. They're going as individuals, but these guys are playing as a team. They're looking really good right now. The off-the-break shots, like you said, Maddie, are making a huge difference.
Yeah, and also Jonathan Yo on the D side along with Kyle Babb really helping out their squad.
I think...
Well, Chris, hold your thought real quick. Let's check in with the third member of our broadcast team. Down in the pits, Lauren Kelly.
Hey guys, a little bit of a surprising start here for FAU against Liberty, going down 2 quick points in the first 2.5 minutes. But this is exactly what we saw yesterday when they played the Redhawks. They had the same exact situation. They went down 2 points early on, and then they were able to adjust and come back and win that match. So going on for this next point, Corbin Robson was saying that they can't get shook. They need to adjust, maybe change the game plan a little bit. But if they can stay alive past that first minute, they will win their gunfights.
Well, we would always say, look, in this situation, don't get down, get up. This is one of the reasons you play this game, to be in a tough situation and see how you react in that situation. So right now, FAU down by 2. They have to win this game to move on. We are in the semifinals. We saw them in the finals last year against the Central Florida Knights. They lost that game, and they are very hungry with a lot of these returning players on FAU to get back into that finals match. Liberty is also hungry to finally get a win, as they have not won this tournament yet in their team's existence. Not looking good here in this point. 3 bodies coming off for Liberty. So FAU comes right back, wins some gunfights of their own, shoots some players off the break, but looks like Corbin Robson throws his body away. He did not see Liberty get into Snake 1, so that's a bad death for Corbin. Haven't seen a lot of those from him this weekend. But, Chris, looks like FAU is in the Snake 2.
Yeah, Snake 2, and also they're pushing the Dorito side really hard, boss. Christian has a good spot right now, but they are in a bad spot. There's only 2 players left, and I think that he's going to get taken out because they're coming hard down the Dorito side. Yeah,
FAU has 2 bodies in the red zone right now, actually past the red zone, and definitely here comes the attack on the D side of the field from FAU. Campbell has to switch his gun that way. Thomas Ryan is in the back bunker here on the snake side, and it looks like FAU also has Cuthbert in here.
That can't be a good feeling playing like that with all those people coming on you.
And he's going to get taken out, so FAU
answering back with that point. That was a good play right there. They're staying within 1, like we talked about yesterday. Getting that deficit, you can't get too far away. Go down 4-0, because it's a lot harder than staying within 1 point.
Yeah, of course we want to keep it as close as possible. 6:15 here on the clock in the first half, and the story of that last point really came down to the break. They were able to shoot 2 bodies for Liberty pretty much immediately, and then shot the 3rd body pretty quickly after that. So, and pretty easy to play 5-on-2.
yeah, absolutely. And they did it slow and controlled. They didn't run on the field, you know, like with the chicken with their head cut off. They took it nice and easy, and that dominated the Dorito side too.
Well, that D side is absolutely the power side of the field. We've seen a lot of points won from the Snake side, but you have to have bodies alive on that D side. If you don't have at least one guy over there to slow the momentum of the attackers, and you're losing gunfights over there or losing guys off the break, you're going to struggle. And we've seen that all weekend long. Interested to see here, as this is the layout for Dallas, how this field is going to play come May 4th through the 6th down in Texas.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some of the pro teams play this field and how they do it. You know, like a Dynasty and an Infamous, and because they're snake heavy, they're also in the middle, and it's really going to be interesting to see what happens. So
you can see this replay here as the last player left alive there in the snake got that shot on Corbin. So, like I said, it was a bad death for Corbin. We haven't really seen him die in those situations. He typically has the count, but you know, it's going to happen to the best of them. So you can get a look now on your screen at this Dorito side of the field. You see those 4 front Doritos and how they are set on the sidelines because they're out so wide and there's no back bunker that can keep those guys honest when they are rolling around and wrapping around those outside spots. Let's check in again with Lauren. It looks like she's in the pits with FAU.
Yeah, Maddie, you guys have been talking a lot about the Dorito side, this event, and how strong it is. But as these days have gone on, I'm hearing teams talk more and more about the Snake side. One FAU went down those 2 first points. DL Ferguson was saying that they have to keep their Snake players alive in order to lock down this field. So to see if they can get another point here to tie it up.
Well, you definitely, like I've been saying, you can't forget about the Snake. The Snake, we've seen points won from there. But it's almost like people are starting to discover what's possible on the Snake, already knowing the D side had been dominant. So it's starting to become a more complex, more thorough look at the game plans.
You know, and FAU getting a good shot on the corner. Sorry for Christian Campbell. That's a huge G for those guys trying to fill into the Snake over there, Matty.
Yeah, I really thought Christian Campbell played stellar yesterday. So Corbin back here in the insert. He's got his man right behind him as well. Back player, Cody Lutens. Great paintball name. Oh, looks like Cody catches one, though. So early death for Cody Lutens to even up this body counts 4-on-4. Neither team with dominant field position here, though. Looks like FAU is in D2 and then going to sleep on that guy. Liberty trying to make a move.
That was lackadaisical right there, Matty. I mean, he just pretty much walked to that spot.
Yeah, he tried to just kind of jaunt into the can and got destroyed cross field from D2.
Yeah, and like we said, those cans are a little bit smaller than the NXL field's going to be. So kind of deceiving, especially when you're 6 feet tall. So I don't have that problem, but, you know, so right now in the Snake, you can see.
Yeah, I got to that spot and I was like, oh, man, you can shoot or you can play over the top of this thing. It's not that bad. So that was Dickerson taking the early walk here from Liberty with that move from the back center to the can getting taken out. And then there goes Corbin. Going to get into Snake 2. No one in the Snake with him here for Liberty. And it looks like another body comes off for Liberty, so it's looking pretty good for FAU. They have bodies on the D side. Corbin here in the Snake. You can see that one body they're worried about, though, is the body in the red zone for Liberty. They need to shoot that guy out. Yes, there's this player on your screen, too. That's the back corner bunker here on the Snake side. And he's putting his gun. They're going to see a major penalty, and it's going to be assessed on FAU, so disaster strikes for them here in this attempted comeback. But I think there's going to be a minor as well. So a major assessed on FAU and a minor assessed on Liberty. That's at least the preliminary call. But there's a lot of players left, well, at least 2 players left alive here on FAU. So even though they do draw that penalty, they're going to put the tying point up on the board.
But see, right now, that's a coaching problem. Definitely, they should have blew the horn for Liberty, because that would have saved them about 4 or 5, maybe 10 seconds on that major penalty, and they still would have lost the point, which means their minor will come off. So they probably should have conceded that point a good 5-10 seconds ago, Matt.
Yeah.
As soon as the guy got in the box, they should concede at that point.
So the move happened on the D side, dual penalties, as Liberty and FAU both getting a penalty. But it ended up working out in FAU's favor. Yes, they do have to play down a body, but the point is more important because they could burn that time off the clock in this next point. We have seen some longer points, and here comes that move. FAU on the attack, and Liberty's begging for it right there. Looks like that was Giroux on the move, playing the aggressor over there against Jonathan.
I'm not exactly sure where the minor penalty came from. It was
maybe for talking. I don't know.
Or just giving the shoulder check on the way out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan. I don't know exactly what the penalty was on. If it was up for talking, not a fan of those penalties. Unless the guy's really truly giving you an ear beating for no reason, then
with a lot of four-letter words.
Yeah, a lot of expletives. Yep. I could see that. No, insulting your mother, that sort of thing.
Or your weight. I have that problem these days.
So it looks like Lauren has an update for us on the penalty.
Hey guys, the major assessed on FAU was for playing on the Dorito side player, and then Liberty got that minor penalty for talking. So as you've said, the minor penalty will come off, and FAU will be starting a body down.
So thank you, Lauren. So right now, two teams locked up at 2, looking pretty even.
Yeah,
this is what we were hoping to see.
Back and forth. I mean, both teams are adjusting to what's happening. We talked about FAU adjusting to what Liberty was doing, and they're doing it very, very well at this point. They were dominant over there on the Dorito side. I just think that it's going to be one of these games where it's going to be 1 point, swaying each way. It's going to come down to like 7-on-7 at the end of the match. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, it's really glad to see FAU wake up here and go blow for blow with Liberty. And now we're going to see how Liberty answers, as the past couple points has been FAU on the attack, and they've been having a hard time living through the break. So might have to alter the game plan or alter your run out. But I think we're going to continue to see a lot of this. This is the way that this field is laid out. It is hard to make it out to some of these spots. So when we do go to Dallas, you are going to watch teams have to scramble and reposition and come up with things on the fly depending on how many bodies they make it out alive, and also could see guys go to conservative game plans. But the problem is because there's that direct drive down the center, I mean, the game plans can only get so conservative on this field.
Absolutely. There's so many variables, Matt. There's so many different ways to go where you need to be. I see a lot of people taking different routes up to D3 in the red zone, and there's just so many different lanes you can take, so it's kind of hard to choose. But you brought a good point up the other day. You're looking right at the other team, so there's no turning around and shooting right down the middle. So you kind of got to get creative a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And to be honest, we've also seen the aggressor win more often than not. Those bunkers in the center, we have not seen too many guys get shot trying to get forward progression up the field. D1 is makeable. Snake 1 seems to be very makeable. And we saw NC State, who, talk about stories at this event. NC State, just heartbreak city for them, is they were playing UConn in the quarterfinals, and it looked like they had the game in the bag with about 24 seconds left and a body advantage. And then one of their players gets a gross major penalty, which tied it up. They go into overtime down 1 and lose that point. And so that's the reason that UConn was able to move on into the semifinals. They're going to be playing UCF next, the returning champs. But what was awesome to watch from NC State was they had the most creative off-the-break plans out here, period. No one was doing what they were doing, and they were making it everywhere and barely ever getting shot. It's kind of showing us what's possible on this field layout. So if you want to get a look at that, go back and watch those games from NC State. So now we are tied at 2. FAU going to be with just 4 bodies for the next minute and 33 seconds, and a clean break for both squads. It's 5-on-4. The power play is on Liberty.
Now they got to take advantage of that too, Maddie. And we talked about yesterday, you got to get in position when that penalty comes off to be able to shoot him coming out of the box. So be a little more aggressive, get up the field, and get a good shot. I'm looking for that out of Christian Campbell right now.
So Liberty on this power play, and here comes actually the move from FAU, as FAU is going to dive into Snake 2. And that is Cuthbert. Kevin Cuthbert in good position over here on the Snake side of the field. Corbin Robson's right behind him there, bottom portion of your screen. And you can see Liberty's line. Liberty does have some forward progression into D2. That's their farthest player up.
Here goes D3. Now he's in the red zone, Matt.
And here's the Snake side for FAU. Liberty did just make a move into that red zone. He is at D3 now. So that's who FAU is worried about. They're going to get that body out of the box in 39 seconds. I only see, so 2 guns are focused on D3.
And right now, Christian Campbell in the Snake. He's looking to get a shot on that box. 30 seconds from now. All the way to the 50, Matt. Great shot. That was great.
We saw this out of Christian Campbell yesterday, finding ways to get up the field, and it doesn't look like anyone's picked him up yet. Thomas Ryan's going to move over a bunker for FAU in the back, and then he gets it taken out. So nice move by Campbell. Now a 2-body advantage for FAU, but they're going to get that body out of the box here in 10 seconds. Another body comes off. So FAU just dropping the ball here, not picking up this Christian Campbell move. just kind of getting too tunnel visioned on the lanes that they were shooting. And also, here comes the push on the D side of the field. So the first to go.
Another major coming out of the box, Matt.
Wow, they are completely, I don't know what FAU is doing right now.
Man,
2 major penalties and a major coming out of the box. That's just unexcusable. The Liberty hyped up right now as they're going to take a 1-point lead, and as soon as they saw that flag, they started jumping for joy.
Wow. Well, what happened, Matt? He came out of the box, and Liberty was already down the field into their blue zone, blew him to pieces, and he still continued to play.
You know who's playing really well for Liberty is Jonathan Yo. Jonathan Yo is doing a really good job on that D side. He always seems to be in there alive. Yes, you're going to get shot every now and then, and they did have some struggles on that side, but everyone's had struggles everywhere. But he's been really playing consistent for them, and the D side for Liberty, can't forget about them, really started the attack in this last point. But FAU was making a lot of mistakes. They need to tighten it up. We're going to be right back after this. Stick with us. A 1-point lead right now for Liberty here in this semifinal matchup against FAU. FAU, 2 major penalties in a row. They need to shake this one off, find a way to get that body out of the box. We'll see if they can do that. But before we get into this next point, let's check in with Lauren.
Thanks, Maddie. FAU is definitely feeling the pressure and frustration right now in the pits. They were extremely upset after that last point, understandably. They're going to be going out and have a full 2-minute penalty to run off this clock. So we'll see if they can get it done or if they can change the attitude a little bit. I saw this yesterday. When they get this hyped in the pits, they start yelling at each other, complaining about these things. It's hard for them to get it going on the field.
Well, talk about hard for them to get it going. This is a completely unexcusable mistake. Well, actually, I take that back. I was just about to hammer FAU for not putting a body in the penalty box, but there's only 1 minute and 41 seconds left, which is just 2 seconds less than what's left on that penalty. So,
yeah, man.
I will sheathe my dagger back. But
yeah.
It looks like
Liberty
body dropping for Liberty here, Chris.
Yeah, left and right. They're dropping left and right. They have the full snake side, so he is all alone over here, Matt. There's nobody, as you see on this right-hand side tape for Liberty. They're all stuck in the middle, so he has nothing stopping him from going on the field. On the other side of the field, they have Dorito 2, and they have the tower right there, as you see on your screen. Nothing stopping Shields from going down the field right now. He's going to probably go all the way to the 50.
Just 1 minute and 4 seconds left. See if FAU can do something with this here. They're not going to get the body back till the second half, but they're trying to make it happen here as have position in the snake. Also have a body at D2.
And David Dickinson, you see him on the bottom of your screen right there, making a good move outside to kind of slow down the snake side. Oh, and losing a body right there, Maddie's FAU back center.
Thomas Ryan had a great day yesterday, and he is just struggling right now here in this semifinal match. There was another body on that D side, and just when I thought it was going to be a no point, a couple of gunfight deaths for FAU, and they throw another point to Liberty. So
they did throw that away.
FAU is really making it hard on themselves here in this match with the penalties, but FAU is just better than them right now in the gunfights. They're shooting more players off the break. They're making better moves, and that's why the score is now going to be 4-2.
Well, you know, you had mentioned yesterday, well, a couple of times over the past couple of days, is all these guys are getting up in the 50s in the red zones and the white zones, and then the back players are dying. If the back players die, you're left out to dry. Up in those white and red zones, and that's exactly what happened to Liberty right there.
We've seen it time and time again on this particular layout, as just like you said, those front spots have been, taken, and then the back players die. We just saw that here. As there's a front player in his spot getting bunkered out. Back players died behind him, but that's because this is a gunfight heavy field.
Yes, absolutely.
Hope everyone's been training up on their snapshots and the gunfights, because that's what you're going to need in Dallas, as we've seen it out here. As Liberty now with a 2-point lead at 19 seconds left, probably barring major incident, which who knows, man. I mean, FAU could get another major, and Liberty could shoot 2 bodies off the break, and we could see a 19-second point. Most likely not, but it is possible. So FAU is really going to need this 5-minute halftime period to try to talk it up and figure out, we'll talk it up and tighten it up.
You know, it is a great day out here. You saw these crowds over there in the stands watching the games. A lot of support from families around here because there are a lot of local teams as well.
So it looks like Lauren is down in the pits with FAU. Lauren, what do you got for us?
Okay, they're still quite losing it here in the pits after that last point. Thomas Ryan came off the field, told everyone to be quiet, and just yelled that they need to stop with these penalties. It can't happen anymore. He said people are making stupid plays. They're just running all over the place. They're playing chaotically. They need to get it together in order to win against Liberty, which they said in the pits they are better players than Liberty if they can just get it together.
Prove it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking of FAU right now. You know, they had a good run of it at this event. They played great last year. They have some returning players. Thought Thomas Ryan had a great day yesterday. He's struggling right now. Corbin's also made some mistakes, and yeah, they're just not looking good so far this morning. But they still have a whole second half, and they're not down that many points yet. So they just need to make sure that they can stop Liberty's forward progression. They are able to get a shot on Campbell. It looks like getting into the snake.
That was actually, I think that's Corbin Ryan. Is that Corbin? Yeah, it was Corbin Ryan taking a shot on the break. It was a big bite, though. That's a long run to that 50. It'd take me at least 3 minutes to get there.
That was Corbin Ryan. So Corbin Ryan giving Christian Campbell a little bit of a break as they send him as the snake runner. Send the short, fast guy to the snake off the break. It's pretty standard paintball right there.
Yeah. You know, I mean, there's a lane right there they can get. He must have got clipped going in. He did run fast, but I mean, that's a hard spot to make.
Liberty looks like they want to win a tournament. They look intense. They're walking off confident. As well they should be as they're up points, but they're off the break shots obviously dialed in. That's why they went up a couple points. Then they started getting blown up a little bit. FAU rears back, tie game. Then they get a couple gifts, but they're just as far as the skills that they're showing out there, the game plans they're coming with, and the execution of those off the break shots and those secondary moves. Liberty definitely looks like they're going to be able to contend with either UCF or UConn. UCF definitely the favorite in that one. So you can see here as the penalties, and also Liberty's playing clean. No penalties for Liberty. Well, they did get that minor. They did get a minor. They did get one minor, but the two majors have really been the story of this first half for FAU, and the fact that they keep making these little mistakes that we weren't seeing out of them yesterday. And Liberty already has played FAU, and FAU beat Liberty 6-4. So redemption time here potentially for Liberty. We'll be back with this action here in the second half. 2018 NCPA Championships. We'll see if FAU can get back in this match. Stick with us.
I'm Joel with Predator Paintball Park in San Antonio, Texas. We host 7 different fields, all combined into 2 very large fields that are all playable at the same time. The Urban Combat field is by far my favorite. The Urban Combat field took 2 years to design and build. It is our most popular field due to the fact of buildings, cars, and lots of obstacles that makes you immerse into a video game atmosphere. Here at Predator Paintball Park, we offer 3 different styles of play. We offer the Splatmaster Adventure, which uses the 50 cal shotgun that you play on your normal paintball fields, but with a smaller projectile. The nice thing about the Splatmaster is that you can get up close and personal. These markers are designed for 9 and up. The next is going to definitely be our 50 cal low impact traditional paintball. This is for 10 and up. This is for the young people that are making the transition from Splatmaster over to normal paintball. The paintball marker is the same size. The only difference is the paintball that it fires. It fires the low impact 50 cal paintball. So it does give you a little sting, but nothing like that of the normal 68 caliber. And then of course our final package is the 68 caliber full on paintball. All of these paintballs are super high quality that you can only get from GI with our 50 cal and all the way up to our pro grade 4-star GI. Here at Pro Shop, we offer all types of different markers, packs, as well as jerseys and gear bags and all of your paintball needs. We do offer specials on park entrances since we do own Predator, which is our 5 pass and our 10 pass. Also, if you purchase the paintballs here at Pro Shop, you get $10 off your entry fee out of the park. Just want to say thank you guys for coming in and checking us out and for supporting your local paintball store and your local paintball park, which is Pro Shop Paintball and Predator Paintball Park.
Welcome back as we head into the second half of this Liberty versus FAU battle here. Right now, Liberty is up 2 points, 4-2 against FAU, and I was in Liberty pits during the halftime. They're feeling good, obviously, moving into this second half. They know that FAU is feeling a little frazzled right now, so they said they just want to keep the intensity up, keep working together as a team, and take those advantages of those low body situations as often as they can.
Well, you got to create those low body situations, and that has been the situation, create the high body situations for Liberty, and that's been kind of one of the big stories here in this first half. These teams now going to switch sides, though, and FAU will be getting that body out of the box in just a little bit. So getting out into D1 off the break for both squads, and looks like Liberty also getting to the back corner bunker here on the snake side of the field. FAU getting into the insert bunker, the mini wall. Corbin going to get right behind, or right beside him. FAU attacking on the D side, getting into D2. They're the first to go over there. Top of your screen, still in the white zone.
You know, we did talk about it, Matty. You got to get up the field, make sure you get a shot in that box, but he did come out already. So FAU making short work of that penalty, getting out of it quick. The advantage right now, Chris Campbell, you see on your screen right there. Look also for the fill right there from FAU, getting into snake as well.
So FAU into snake 1. Christian Campbell's already in snake 2, and he's trying to get that shot cross field on D3, but doesn't have a shot from that position, at least for the way he's tucked in there.
There's a blind shot over that center wedge, Matty, that I saw somebody shoot yesterday. I want to say it was Christian that shot that.
He was trying to shoot that, but it wasn't dropping in there.
He also has a bounce shot. If he goes to the 50, he has a bounce shot as well.
First body to drop is going to be for Liberty. So FAU able to get that body out of the box.
Also, FAU making that move to their red zone. So Dorito 4, or Dorito 3 if you want to say, for Liberty. But watch a shot for Christian in the back.
Yeah, so
there it is right there.
Christian Campbell here in the 50-yard line on the snake side.
He blew that shot, Matty. He had the shot. I can see the angle from where I'm standing. He missed the shot totally.
So looks like another body's coming off for Liberty. Back player here on the snake side gets shot.
That's going to hurt Christian. Now they're going to come get him. Oh, look at, you see that, Matt?
Who shot Cuthbert? Was it Christian Campbell? Christian Campbell is just dicing bodies up over here. He finally gets taken out. Nice damage control from Thomas Ryan, but not before Corbin Robson gets shot.
That was pretty money. I mean, that switch shot down the wire was insane. Great job by Christian Campbell for damage control on this side of the field, but I still think that FAU has that far side Dorito, Matt.
Yeah, so Cuthbert runs to his death, and then Corbin Robson gets taken out by Campbell, so now there's still 2 bodies left alive. There's Thomas Ryan on your screen. He's the only body left alive on this snake side of the field.
I think it's 2-on-2, Matty, if I'm correct. So I think that Liberty has the tall can on your screen as far as Dorito 1, and then you got on your screen the body of your screen. They have 3.
Yeah, so there's a body at D4 and D2 for FAU, and then just Thomas Ryan over here on the snake side, but he's found his way into the 50. So nice work by Thomas Ryan as the bodies were pushing up on his team here on the D side of the field, and he made the move into the snake. Looking at 2 players, so it is a 3-on-2 situation. Advantage to FAU, 7 minutes and 3 seconds to go. Thomas Ryan trying to get an angle on the back center's pack, who is just forced to look at the attackers on that Dorito side of the field. He couldn't get small enough. So now it leaves just 1 player left alive, and Thomas Ryan's going to get that kill.
Way to hold in there, though. I mean, for Liberty, they kind of ground off about 2 minutes from that. Just powerhouse.
Yeah, that's still going to be a frustrating point for them. They started on the power play and couldn't shoot the body for FAU coming out of the penalty box, and then lose a couple bodies. I mean, Christian Campbell made it a little interesting over here on the snake side of the field, but You can see here in the snake, and that's Christian Campbell. So it was Christian
awesome.
Campbell hears the coach say, "Come get him." And then he just comes around and is like, okay, you're going to send the guy to get me? I'm just going to stitch him up. And then he shoots out Corbin Robson, too. So 2 for 1 there for Christian Campbell doing his job. But unfortunately, he lost his back player behind him, and then it went down to a 2-on-3 situation. But it was really the strength of that D side for FAU that won him that point.
Yeah,
and Thomas Ryan.
Unfortunately, you can see in the bottom of your screen where the Snake 50 is. Look across the field to the top of the screen to their D4 for FAU. He had a shot across the field, and he did blow the shot. If he'd have got that, it probably would have changed the dynamics of the game a little bit. I'm not sure if it would have changed the outcome, but I think it would have been a little bit different played that way. But Christian, he did a good job at the end of the day.
Yeah, he did miss that shot across the field. You're right, but he did kill 2 guys.
He did.
When he came off, 2 bodies were coming off with him.
Absolutely, he played that very, very well.
Yes.
I like the snapshot. That impressed me.
Well, it was pretty funny because the coach looked at the situation. So FAU's coach is standing right by Campbell and right by his player, and I think that was Cuthbert. And so he basically tells Cuthbert, "Hey, go get him." And then Christian Campbell's, "I'm right here,
I'm right
man.
here. I can hear you."
I'm literally right here." He comes out, stitches him up, and then takes his spot back, and then Spidey sensor tingling comes over the top and blows apart Corbin Robson too.
So funny. I can totally hear you. I'm right here.
Yeah.
But still, well played by FAU. They played conservative. Well, not conservative. They played aggressive but smart paintball right there. 4-3, and we're still keeping it close, Maddie. 6:46 left in this match.
On the breakout, Liberty on your left side, FAU on your right side. The Flames taking on the Owls. But the Liberty Flames still with this 1-point lead. See if they can hang on to it. And a solid break for both squads, 5 alive.
In the snake first.
I was going to say pretty even on the body, or pretty even on the field position, but Liberty loses a body on that D side, and they also get Christian Campbell back here into the 50. This guy's been making this 50 on a regular basis.
Yeah, pretty effortlessly. Oh, and in the face across the field, great shot by Christian Campbell. On the D side, FAU taking a loss on one of those players. 4-on-4. Filling the snake for FAU is number 5. That's Kevin Cuthbert. Also on the other side of the field, Maddie, they got Dorito 3 in the red zone for FAU.
Yeah, so FAU definitely making Liberty play on their heels now.
I think Chris has that bounce shot we were talking about, if his coach tells him he's over there.
Well, Christian's in a great spot.
Right.
So he's not scared to go. Nobody on Liberty's scared to go, but you can see that with that penetration on the D side, FAU's been a little bit better at attacking over there past few points.
Yeah, and switching sides of the field, man, I'm telling you, it makes a little bit of a difference if you're shooting right-handed, going down those Doritos. I mean, not for everybody, but it is a difference for some players.
Yeah, so in the red zone, FAU, and that's Campbell over here is in the red zone for Liberty. They move into D2. Referee checks out the Liberty player. Looks like he is clean. They also have a back player here on the snake side, and Christian Campbell at the 50-yard line over here on the snake.
Yeah, I really want to see Christian Campbell shoot that cross shot to Dorito 3.
Longer point here. 4 minutes and 47 seconds left in this semifinal match. FAU trying to find a way to push forward with this one-body advantage they have right now.
This is a big point for FAU. If Liberty makes this point, it's going to be extremely hard because they'll be in the driver's seat with probably about 3 minutes left after this point's over. But look at this stalemate situation with Cuthbert and Christian in the snake right now.
Well, yeah, and then Christian doing his job. He's been really tight in here, not giving FAU much to shoot at, but at the same time trying to work those inside shots and watch the sideline, listening to his back player. And here comes the attack on the D side of the field for FAU as he runs down a body. Ooh, that looked like it could have been a penalty on Liberty, but nothing's called. So Liberty's going to come off. Nice move from FAU.
So they're stuck on this side of the field, though, Maddie. You can see the back player right there, number 2. That's Montanari and Christian Campbell. But nobody on the D side for either team, really.
Yeah, with that move from FAU, kind of blew that D side open, but Thomas Ryan is still alive. Looking like he wants to make a move over to that D side.
You know, Christian doing really well at this right now, just shutting down the lane. Oh, but he loses his back player, Maddie.
Oh, I think Cuthbert just got that shot, and now Cuthbert's going to stitch up Christian Campbell. Beautiful job by Kevin Cuthbert, blowing open the snake side of the field, and I think he's going to help FAU put the tying point on the board because Thomas Ryan is still alive. So is Corbin Robson. Ryan looking in the center, trying to count bodies and make sure that everybody's dead. They are. And Corbin's going to grab that flag and start walking it in. But, hey, you want to win the close games, win the close points. And that was a nice one by by FAU with the big move by Kevin Cuthbert, blowing open the game.
Yeah, losing his black player, I mean, Christian Campbell losing his back player really, really hurt that point. You know, I thought they had it. But now, interesting game, 4-4 if the point's good.
Well, so FAU's been able to charge back here and tie this game up twice. Liberty taking the early lead, FAU comes back and ties it up. And then they go up. Yeah, so then they go up back, or you go back up 2 points, and then FAU rears back. So, yeah, it's been a pretty interesting game so far. Couldn't get any closer, Chris.
No, and we talked about it earlier. Look at this replay, Maddie.
So on the run through here, Kevin Cuthbert, he already got a shot out the back player and then stitches up Christian Campbell, who had been playing real tight in there before, not giving him much, but sometimes you have to do that. You just got to run the player down and execute him. So tied ball game right now. We're going to be back with more semifinal action here. FAU Owls taking on the Liberty Flames. We'll be right back. So welcome back here to the semifinal action at the Paintball Championships in Florida here for the college athletes. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Chris Lasoya. What an interesting game so far, Chris. Liberty initially goes up 2, FAU comes back, scores 2, and they tie it up. Then Liberty goes up 2 more points, 4-2, and then FAU again comes back to tie this up. Our score sits at 4 apiece. And what's been impressing you out here right now?
You know, I like the way that FAU is adjusting to what's going on. Liberty's playing really good, but they adjust, they get the shots. I think switching the field is helping these guys out. Coming down right-handed down the Doritos, I think is a huge impact for FAU right now. And also inside on the snake right-handed, I think it makes a difference, really does.
Well, we are starting to see as these teams have learned how to play this layout now. It was a little puzzling in the beginning as far as where you could make those off-the-break shots, and we started seeing guys die on that D side of the field. But the D side is the strongest side of the field. We've seen lots of points broke open from that side, more so than the snake side, but it's like the traditional 1-2 punch, an unconventional field, but the same principle. Establish on the D side, and then if the guns turn, you can definitely, you know, hit that left hook and come through with the snake side and blow it open here too. We just saw that just happened for FAU as Kevin Cuthbert had a point. So it looks like a timeout's being called, and we're going to take another quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to this tied semifinals match. Liberty versus FAU. The score on the board right now is 4-4. I was standing in Liberty's pits during their timeout, and they said what's really killing them right now is FAU's Dorito side. So they are focusing on adjusting their strategy on the breakout to try to get some G's earlier on. We'll see if they can do that.
Well, it looks like the first body to drop is going to be for Liberty here off the back of the snake side of the field. So a little bit of an advantage right now for the Owls.
Also getting the snake, Maddie. And here comes all the way, big bite, all the way to the 50, Christian Campbell.
And nobody's shooting that lane when Christian Campbell went.
He's just taking full advantage of these guys.
Yeah, Kevin Cuthbert had his, he just got into snake one, so he's got his head down. And then Corbin Robson had just made it into the mini wall, so he had his head down. And Thomas Ryan wasn't shooting this lane either. And he doesn't really have the best shot on that specific move. So Christian Campbell, beautiful timing, makes it into this important bunker here on the 50 of the snake.
Yeah, still 4-4. Going down the Dorito side, man. Look at that move to D2.
Yeah, into D2 here. So as the guns shift to look at Christian Campbell, Liberty, we just talked about this. You can do it on the snake side. It's more often than not happening as the first guys to go are on the D side of the field, but based on game plans and situations, it can happen on the snake side as well. And another penalty here for FAU, a penalty-ridden match for them. They've been having to fight through it.
That was a minor pulled on the far side of the Dorito field. So now here comes Liberty just pushing the Dorito side. Christian Campbell is just holding his wing.
We are running out of time here, Chris. There's only 1 minute and 27 seconds left in this semifinal match. There's Cuthbert on your screen. There's 44 seconds left in that penalty. We'll see if FAU can figure out a lane here to get a quick kill, and hopefully, for them at least, even up this body count. There is the D side, completely blown open. We just talked about this. This is how dominant the D side is. There's no back bunker out there to get to do damage control. You have to find a way. That guy just has to lose his gunfight to you, shooting those lanes, and it's going to be the same in Dallas. Now cutting to the inside, getting to the brick, trying to close out this point here. FAU is going to get that body back.
See, what I would do in this situation as Liberty, chill out, let him come out of the box, blow him to pieces, and then go get the point. And there'll only be about 20 seconds left, 15 seconds left.
Well, the thing is that with just 40 seconds left, tie game. If I'm FAU, you're just digging in, just trying to hold on and hope for overtime because you're at a disadvantage. But they get a kill. But here comes Christian Campbell running through. Nobody has their gun on Christian Campbell. Corbin Robson might get a penalty. Christian Campbell, Corbin able to get a ball. No, so Christian didn't shoot him. But here comes the hammer about to get dropped on Corbin with 19 seconds left, and I think they're going to be able to steal this win.
Like that's exactly how I would have done it. But he knocks down. Come on, man.
David Dickerson just goes in full bore into the start gate, knocks it over. Trying to put the exclamation point on this one.
If this point's good.
So nice job again by Leo over there Yeo on that D side. I love that move. That was the hugs. It was a triumphant. Well, there's still 12 seconds left, and just when we thought the NC State game was in the bag, they got a major penalty, a gross major. So, I mean, Liberty needs to take a deep breath right here, come out to play this next 12 seconds, and make sure they don't get a penalty. That's all they need to do. But, yes, so the move, Christian Campbell made a beautiful move. All the guns had turned towards the D side because that's where that attack was coming. They were well into the white zone for Liberty on that side of the field. So the gun switch shifted that way. Campbell comes through, and then Dickerson with the run through afterwards to clean it off. Beautiful job. Let's check in with Lauren.
Hey guys, FAU is very upset down here in the pits. As to be expected, Corbin Robson came off the field asking why nobody considered conceding when it was a 2-on-5 situation. They would have had possibly a chance to get a quick point to tie it up and take it into overtime, but now it's looking like those chances are pretty slim.
Yeah, definitely pretty slim, but we saw it yesterday in that NC State game against UConn when similar situation, just 10 more seconds on the clock. You can see there on your screen the defending champs, the University of Central Florida Knights, getting ready to play the next semifinal match against the UConn Huskies. Let's check out this replay in one of the better executed attacks that we've seen to close a point out. Here comes Campbell. The guns have shifted. Look at this. Campbell's got backs. Oh, no, that's the Dickerson at the end. So Christian went through first, and then Dickerson finished it off, bunkering out Corbin Robson. I'm surprised Corbin even lived through that first attack.
Yeah, me too. I thought Christian actually got all of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Christian Campbell is continued to impress here, and it's looking like Liberty will punch their ticket to go on to the final match to take on the winner of the UCF-UConn match. But there still is this 12 seconds, and it had been so long since we saw a team lose in this situation until yesterday when it was Heartbreak City for NC State.
Well, you know what surprised me is with all the spots that these guys had on the D side, how did that guy get out of the penalty box? Because he came out and blasted 2 of them. So I was really surprised at that.
Yeah, well, we've seen this is an interesting layout. There's been a decent amount of chaotic stuff happening on this field. I expect to see the same in Dallas in a couple weeks, and May 4th through the 6th. Be sure to sign up for Go Sports and check that out. And so right now, just waiting for FAU to get their bodies out to play their most disappointing point of the tournament right here.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? I would run 5 guys right up the center. I really
just
would.
on general principle alone.
If I'm going, I'm going to get some before I go out. I'm going to get some. Somebody's going to get hurt just for GP.
So on your screen there, unfortunately, the FAU Owls, who were in the final match last year, doesn't look like they're going to be getting there this year, unless we see a major penalty. And they are on the attack as the last few seconds tick off the clock. They shoot a couple bodies, but that is it. So Liberty successful here in this semifinal match.
Still another game to go, though, Maddie.
Yeah, they looked good, though. Liberty, I mean, it was a close one as they're battling against FAU, and we all knew how strong the FAU was last year and this season as well, too. You can see their Liberty will appear in their first final match in their history of that team's existence. They've always been competitive. Asking around, coming to these events, oh, who looks good this year, who's playing well. Liberty always is in the equation. They were ranked first overall this season, but this is the first time that we will see them in the championship match. And I think that they could definitely hang with UCF. UCF is for sure the favorite in this next semifinal match because they've already played the Huskies at this event and they beat them up 7-1. So the Huskies need to bring a different game than they brought the last time they played UCF, or it could be more of the same.
Well, I mean, I do have to point out at the beginning of this game, I did say Liberty by 2. Just had to. It was by 1, but you know, potato.
Hey man, you got your. Did you read the tea leaves this morning?
No, I was just listening to you earlier. Well played, though.
It looks like we have Lauren Kelly, and she is with Corbin Ryan. Let's listen in.
Thanks, Maddie. Congratulations. Liberty is moving on to the finals. It's been a while since we've seen you guys in this finals match, so how does it feel to be going on to that point?
Well, since this is my first nationals with the team, it is an unbelievable feeling, just being blessed to have the guys that we have here, just having fun. And even though going down points, you got to stay positive. You just got to keep rolling guns and start shooting people. So it's an unbelievable feeling being able to make it to the finals, but we just got to keep playing our game, stay aggressive, and play smart. You
guys had really great morale in the pit, whether you were leading or if the game was tied, so that's definitely a factor that helps you on the field. But moving forward, you're going to be playing either UCF or UConn. Do you have a preference in who you would be playing?
It's always fun to play the Florida teams because they're generally the top tier and they're the ones going after us. So it would be fun to play UCF, but we'll take either or. So we're just playing our game, play to win, so that's our mentality at this point.
You just want to get that first place finish?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations. We'll see you in a bit. Back to you guys.
So we'll be right back here. One semifinal match remains before we see the game that we're all waiting for. Beautiful job by Liberty taking down FAU. Is it going to be UCF or is it going to be UConn? Well, you got to stick around to find out. We'll be right back.
Welcome to our Keller gas plant facility. Keller's the newest gas plant franchise, with our other fields located in Louisville and Rowlett, Texas. Gas plant facilities are AstroTurf-covered indoor fields. That means you never have to worry about wind, rain, or heat when playing your paintball event. No matter what the weather throws at you, the game will go on. Our buildings all feature plenty of table space for your group, clean restrooms, big screen TVs, Wi-Fi, and a huge wall of glass that lets the spectators enjoy the fun while staying safe and clean. Gasplat also features some unique games that are only found here, like our ammo box scoring system. Try to get 5 points before your opponent can. Gasplats are also low-impact facilities. We exclusively use a custom GI 50 caliber paintball. That's 1/3 the weight of a conventional paintball, so you get all the adrenaline, all the rush, but with 1/3 the sting. This means kids as young as 6 years old can participate in paintball at Gatzblatt. We even have Nerf wars at some of our locations for kids that are younger than that. Birthday parties, school activities, corporate team building events are all our main focus, with over 40,000 players a year visiting our facilities. All this makes Gatzblatt such a unique venue. We've been asked to offer franchises and licensing and consulting models to help other fields take advantage of this business opportunity. So whether you want to book your child's birthday party, put together an unforgettable corporate team building event, or look into a new business opportunity, we invite you to check out gatzblatt.com.
Hi, I'm Jeff Wechter. Welcome to X Factor Paintball Park. We are a large outdoor facility with both tournament and recreational fields, sitting on about 16 acres of land right now. Some of our popular fields are the Alamo. We have a 2-story Alamo that's pretty much life-size, so you get that chance to be Davy Crockett or Sam Houston and get to defend the Alamo against the attackers. We also have a brand new POW field we just opened up. We have a crashed helicopter on there, we have an airplane, we get to attack the huts in the field, and it's a lot of fun. Here at X Factor, we do a number of events over the year. We do scenario games. We do participate in the NXL 2v2 system, local 3-man events, D3, D4 X-Ball. We also host USXBL out here every year. We host local and regional series. All come out to X Factor. Basic rental package includes a rental vest. You can have a pod pack attached to that if you'd like. You get your full rental equipment with compressed air tanks, and we use the Tippmann FT12s here. Should the need arise, of course, we have a full on-service shop full of all the fun, latest and greatest gear. We hope you can come out and join us here at X Factor Paintball Park. As always, you can find us on Facebook. Visit our webpage, www.xfactorpaintballpark.com.
Welcome back. The 2018 National Collegiate Paintball Association Championships. The second semifinal match is about to go down. It's going to be the University of Central Florida Knights taking on the UConn Huskies. Matty Marshall alongside Kevin Catfish Arcia. So Catfish, these two teams have already played each other at this event, and UConn pretty much got dismantled by the Knights. It was a 7-1 score. So UConn really going to need to step up here in this one, and also got a bit of a gift to even make it into the semifinals.
Yeah, definitely got a, I mean, don't get me wrong, they played great yesterday, and
they did win that overtime point.
They did, but it was a little bit of a gift.
But it was 5-on-4.
Yeah, it was a 5-on-4, and it was a little bit of a gift because they got a major at the what was it?
24-second mark. A gross major assessed on NC State, giving UConn the gift of that point, because during that, if that's the penalty, under a minute, you instantly get a point. So they got a free one there because of the major. So they just instantly go to overtime.
Yeah.
And then they play that overtime point with 5 bodies against 4, and they end up winning it.
Yeah.
So let's see if UConn can make the most of the second chance here.
Looks like a standard breakout here. The Knights coming out to the little wall behind the mini wall behind the Snake in the D1. Looks like UConn dropping the player here on D side. D1. Oh! And it seems to be pouring flags down on the field at the current moment.
Yeah, it's no longer raining water. It's raining yellow flags, as we saw multiple yellow flags in the air. It looks like just one penalty assessed, though multiple flags were thrown.
Looks like the Knights are taking advantage of that and then creeping into the red zone.
So when you're playing a team that's already beat you 7-1, it's probably not a good idea to get penalty at the start of the first point.
Maybe you just like to play on your heels the whole tournament.
Well, the defending champs swarming all over the field right now.
Another UConn player coming off as being accompanied by a Knights player.
Well, it looks like, yeah, getting shot out of that center for the Knights, Stephen Boski. So that's not a good death.
No, not at all. Looks like the Knights into D3 on UConn side of the field. That player eliminates the mini wall behind the snake. Look for him to continue on down the field and just.
They are about to get that body out of the box. We'll see. Hope they don't. Hopefully, the Knights don't sleep on him.
It's gonna be funny if they do. No, they know.
Okay, now they're gunned up on him. And he decides to come out though, so I'll give him. I'll give him a little props for the bravery.
Yeah, he earned that one apparently.
There was 3 guys gunned up looking at him as he ran out of that box.
You'll never take me alive,
and
coppers.
I think everybody got a ball on him. So
yeah.
First point is going to go to UCF. Making it look pretty easy out there. They, like I said, they did lose Boski, Stephen Boski out of the center. And that's not a spot you want to die in. There's only a couple players left alive. You got all your bodies. No reason to lose a gunfight in that situation. Still, though, a good point for them. They obviously have their off-the-break shots dialed in on that D side, and they're shooting left-handed towards that D side of the field from UCF side of the field. UConn is going to be shooting right-handed towards the D side.
I think UConn came out a little bit timid there. I think right now the Knights are living rent-free in their heads right now because of the the shellacking they took yesterday.
That is definitely possible. So let's check in with Lauren Kelly down in the pits.
Hey guys, so UCF is feeling good here in the pits, obviously. They started the weekend out a little slow. As I've talked to a couple of their teammates about this weekend, they felt like they had to dust it off a little bit, get a good flow going with each other, good chemistry going on the field. But as you said, they already beat UConn in one match when they didn't feel like they were playing up to their greatest potential. So coming into this, they feel like they got this in the bag.
Oh, no, the dreaded got it in the bag call.
Oh, we're good. We're all good, bro.
So let's check out this replay before we reset for the point number 2. And you can see here, just barely grazes the loader, but that's all you need. UConn not able to stay tight as UCF was on that full court press, but again, Catfish, we've seen this a lot. If you can find a way to shoot a body off that D side quickly and get your bodies alive out there, that's great to do anyway, but because of the speed of that D side and the ability for guys to get up the field pretty quickly, it really can pay dividends for you. So definitely going to have to try to play a little tighter over there on the runs out.
It looks like a UConn player signed in a D1 as well as a Knights player signed in a D1, but they're getting that elimination from that Knight player on the stand-up right behind D1, walking off the field. Look for this Knight player to slide into this snake here soon.
So this time the Knights lose a body on the break. Good break for UConn. 5 alive for UConn. And a decent spread crossfield. They have a body here in the mini wall on the snake side. They also have D1. So not too aggressive, but it is a 5-on-4 situation for them.
Yeah, it looks like a UConn starting to play a little timid, but it looks like we got a Knight in a D1. He's looking to make a move here.
Yeah, we're looking over the shoulders of the Knights right now as he is trying to wrap around, but you can see, again, the layout as he tries to make his move into D2. There's a lot of stuff to block you out from those crossfield shots, and there's no back player to get out wide to try to stop your forward progression as well. That's why that D side's so strong. Here comes the move from the Knights into Snake 1. He's going to crawl in. Oh, looks like he gets clipped out of there. So the Knights squandering some bodies here, Catfish.
Yeah, that was, I mean, he kind of dove a little too soon. I don't know what he was thinking there. Maybe he thought he was going to crawl into that. But that left him open as he's laying there in the open trying to crawl into the stand-up temple behind the Doritos over there. Looks like we got UConn players sliding into Snake 50 uncontested, now looking for that crossfield shot.
This is Jacob Green. We saw Jacob Green out here on this main field have a point for UConn early in the tournament. Now in a position to try to put their first point on the board to tie things up here in this semifinal match. And there is Silverman in the back center.
Looks like UConn players are concentrating heavily on the Doritos side. Looks like they're spinning one gun over here to the Snake. Hopefully trying to keep Green at bay a little bit.
And then a big move from UConn out of the back. Temple goes all the way to D2 as it looks like they have lost a body over there. So their first attacker dying on the D side, but a good fill for UConn. UConn's going to make a big dig all the way as Silverman tries to get out wide here on the snake side, and it looks like he makes it clean to get behind Green.
Yeah. Looks like Green listening to his coach, or listening to the other coach actually, trying to figure out what he's telling his players.
Well, the Knights still have a body in D2, so they do have a threat out there that UConn needs to worry about. That's why kind of things have slowed down a little bit here.
Looks like the Doritos side is stacked up at the current moment with both squads.
Well, Green only has one body to worry about. He needs to put this guy in and get across this gap.
Yeah.
He's pretty content here to chill in this spot for now, which, to be honest, is fine. There's 5 minutes and 45 seconds. They have an advantage. He doesn't want to squander his body. But the only guy looking at Green is the back temple on the D side of the field.
He needs to start working with his man actually behind him, Maddie, stand up behind the snake, possibly work together and move down the field.
They're playing like they have mirrors right now. Maybe not Green, a mirror like right on the other side of them, but they're playing like snake 1 is hot or the mini wall's hot, back corner. None of those bunkers have any opponents in them. Oh, and see.
Just getting sloppy right here.
See, so instead of trying to work with his back player to put that guy in and get across, actually, take it back. There is still one player left alive in the back center as well. He was hiding in there and blocked out for me. I couldn't see him. So there's 3 bodies alive for the Knights. And with that death, I think that's going to even up the count.
I think that what they have, 2 guys in the Doritos on UConn side?
Well, we're looking over the shoulder of the Knights right now, and they are both looking inside and looking. Well, one back temple's looking towards the snake in the blue zone, and then now he's going to look at his mirror. He's going to get in a snapshot battle right now. So there's a player in
D2 maybe?
Well, for sure D2 for the Knights.
Oh, okay, here we go. The inside little mini Dorito next to D2, as well as a snake. So
well,
yeah, it's a 3-on-3.
Well, here he moves up. So that was, I don't know why he went out wide like that. He went around there on the edge of your screen. He went out basically into the gun. So
man.
UConn just dropping the ball here, and then another body gets shot out. So nice job by the Knights. That's the bend, don't break point right there.
Who was that on the Dorito side? He earned them that point for sure.
That was a good point for UCF.
Yeah, definitely. It was a long point, too. It took a lot of time off the clock for them.
Well, that's a frustrating one if you're UConn. I mean, they didn't have an overwhelming advantage, but they did have bodies in good spots and just making some bad moves. Making moves into guns, losing some gunfights. Saw Green lose the gunfight here out of Snake 50. That was kind of the first card in the stack to start crumbling. And then another death right there. And look at the frustration. That's that instant eyes to the sky, shoulder slump, frustration, and then you see Green lose his one, his gunfight over here, and he punches the air.
That's a gun battle he shouldn't be losing. I mean, he should have been up to at least Snake 2 on the Knight side. Unfortunately, he decided to just gun battle from back there.
There were some bright shining lights in that point for UConn. You see the UCF, they've won championships 2 of the last 4 years, 2014 and last season. But in that last point, UConn shot a body on the break. Yeah. They took a lot of the good spots, but this is another thing we've seen out of some of these teams that are still, trying to get more experience out there. They're not as good as the top squads. Is they would get to these front spots and then be puzzled as to where and how to crack that code of how to push forward from those spots, losing some gunfights, running into guns, and we just saw that.
Yeah.
And let's go down to Lauren Kelly with an update for us.
Hey guys, even though UConn is down 2 points in the first 6 minutes here of this match, they're still feeling good about this. They said they still have plenty of time to get some points here on the board. They're still in this game. It's not over yet. They just need to tighten up and work together. And something else that they're not talking about too much, but I think they should be, is communication. I was walking back and forth on both sides of the field here on the sidelines, and UCF was doing a great job of communicating information down the field to each player, but UConn was pretty silent. So we'll see if they improve that moving on here and can get a point.
I definitely agree, Lauren, because that's why you make runs that you shouldn't be making because you don't know the exact lanes. Well, I would hope to be that the excuse, because if you know that that's where the guy is, it's not a good idea to run through the lane. So on the breakout,
pretty even.
They are right, though, that there's a lot of time left. There's still just under 4 minutes to go in their first half. It's only a 2-point lead, and there's a whole second half to go.
Looks like the Knights beating them at the punch in the Dorito side as their player slides into Dorito 2.
So there was the shot of the back line for UConn. Green in the back corner bunker. There goes a big dig for UCF trying to get out. On the snake side, looks like he makes it clean.
Looks like the UConn player is real content to allow these Knights to run around here for a little second. Looks like they got a player, one of the Knights players sliding into Snake 1 from the mini wall. Looks like we got another Knight sliding into D1. So now the Knights control D1 and D2 on that side of the field. That's a strong position for them right now.
And they also have Snake 2 as well. He just crawled into that spot after diving into Snake 1, and there goes a death across the field from Snake 2. Looks like he's going to get another one, so 2 confirmed kills here real quick in the Snake.
Yeah, Cheatham. Oh, unfortunate name, but yes, he's doing work right now.
Yeah, Cheatham is definitely a good paintball name. Casey Cheatham.
You never want cheat in your name if you're playing paintball.
Yeah, you're going to have to be a really clean player if your last name is Cheatham.
And he's doing work right now, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, he was good yesterday, too. We saw him last year as well. I mean, he's been pretty solid for them.
Yeah.
Really like the moves. Another kill coming off. That might have been Cheatham as well. So at least 2 confirmed kills for Casey in the Snake. You can see him there, the bottom portion of your screen. Those last players on UConn, just look how tight this guy has to get in here. He's really getting pinched out.
Looks like the Knights rolling up to the red brick on the Snake side.
Yeah, he doesn't know where to put his gun right now. The shots are coming from everywhere. He's like, oh, God, this isn't looking good. I'm just going to run to my death right now.
Yeah.
Well, he makes it to D2. I don't know how. How did UCF let him get to D2? And then he finally loses a gunfight. Hey, I'll give him some credit. He did try to push forward. Every now and then that does work because your opponents are not expecting you to make that move. They're expecting you to just hide in your bunker.
Wow, they fight strong right now? No, they dropped one, right? The Knights dropped one? Well, I believe, yeah, they dropped one.
Looks like they have 4 bodies out there right now. So just a minute and 33 seconds as 3 unanswered points here for the defending champs. So consistent past few seasons, winning it last year, winning it in 2014, always being one of those teams that we're talking about in the hunt, though. UConn also historically has done well. Looks to be on a little bit more of a rebuild, but they're not getting blown off the field. They're just making small mistakes that UCF is capitalizing on, and they don't seem to know this field or the situation. They don't have quite the situational awareness that the Knights players have.
Yeah, definitely. At this point right now, I mean, it's 3-0 in favor of the Knights. This is where the mentality is going to need to kick in here, and mental fortitude for these guys because, I mean...
Yeah, well, it's not quite do or die time, but it's getting really close, and it looks like Lauren is down in the pits with UCF right now.
Thanks, Maddie. Yeah, we have seen it so many times. UCF is absolutely capable of playing offensively, quickly, and attacking during any given point. But we're not going to see too much of that too early on in these points from them. They were already here on the sidelines yelling story time. They want to just slow this game down, let UConn, like you were saying, make those little mistakes, wait for those opportunities, and get 1 point at a time to close this out. And 3-0 in the first half with 1:30. I mean, they're doing a good job so far.
Thanks, Lauren. Well, story time is a code for many teams. Basically means we're up points. Let's just hang out and tell stories. Essentially talk it up a lot.
Yeah.
Roll the guns. Don't make any mistakes. Let's just try to burn the clock off.
Yeah. Do you think that the Knights are still under in UConn's head after the last game? I mean,
for sure.
As the way with this game is going right now, it foresees to be the exact same result.
Well, I would hope that they aren't in their heads, but it's looking like they are. You know, but with UConn again, they're not playing bad. The Knights are just playing a little better.
Yeah.
And in some points much better.
Yeah, they're just beating them to the punch. Looks like UConn taking a book out of the NC State's book, going to the 50 brick off the break. Looks like we got a Knight player crawling in the Snake 1.
Yeah, well, it was an aggressive breakout catfish as UConn attempting to take the Snake and also the center 50. The center 50 player lives,
is murdered.
But they lose 2 bodies, and then, yeah, that's a nice kill there in that center.
Oh, man.
No, it looks like UCF might be able to steal this one.
Yeah, Malik Santos going to work.
Yeah, UConn risking all those bodies. Santos here dives into the 50. UCF does lose a body in the center of the field, but they have a body attacking on the D side. Another player looking to launch in that center, and Santos at the center 50, or at the Snake side 50.
Just standing up, shooting that, rolling that gun. Looks like we got a guy at the center, mini tower back there, looking to make a move for UConn. Kind of looking frantic, but he's about to get a back massage. No happy ending for that guy.
So a pretty solid point here. UConn going with that high-risk play with, there was about a minute and, what, minute 30?
Yeah.
Minute 30 left on the clock. So UConn trying to score a quick point knowing they're down a bunch. And that's the risk. When you do risk those bodies going forward, if they get shot, it could make a quick point for your opponent. So the Knights were able to hold their attack, shoot 2 bodies off the break, shoot that 3rd body out in the center when Santos got here into the snake, Malik Santos.
Yeah.
And then just able to close it out nicely. So 4th point on the board right now for UCF. And there's still 21 seconds left in this first half.
Knights seem to be just steamrolling through this game right now at the current moment.
How is UConn going to answer here?
Well, hopefully they play a little bit more, I don't know, more consistent, I'd like to say. But they're not, like you said, they're not losing too many bodies off the break. If any, they're just losing their initial gun battles is what's going on, I think. They're just poking their heads out into those lanes and not waiting for that lull in the beginning.
Yeah, UCF here is controlling the gunfights, definitely better on the secondary moves. They are shooting more bodies on the break. But this is the test right now for UConn. You're down by 4. You have a whole second half to work with. How are you going to respond to this? And the thing is that we're up here and we're watching these games and we're criticizing and commenting on what's happening out here because that's what we're supposed to do. That's our job. But you have to have somebody in the pits doing the same thing if you're UConn. You can't just come off each point. I'm hoping that this is happening. They need to be isolating those mistakes, discussing that with those individual players, and then bringing that into the game plan as a whole. So if you don't have somebody in the pits as a coach, an experienced veteran over there trying to help with that, having a couple pairs of experienced eyes, then it's going to be tough because you're not fixing the problems.
Oh, yeah. And they're starting on the opposite side of the field, so they get to see what they're doing.
Yeah, so here we go. Let's check in again with Lauren before the start of this next point.
Hey, Maddie, yeah, they really don't seem to have that veteran person in the pits like we were just talking about. Of course, they come off the field and they say they're losing too many people in the back. They got to survive off the break. The very typical things you hear, but it doesn't sound like they're really isolating a single or a few problems that they need to work on in order to get these points against UCF.
Well, that's not good to hear if you're a UConn fan. So no point in this last point before the halftime period. But here we go. There's the score on your screen. 4 big points here for UCF. UConn not able to put anything together, not able to put a point on the board. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to be back with more action from this semifinal match. Stick with us.
My name is Dave Massey. I'm the president of Hell Survivors and Exotic Sports. We've been doing paintball right here in Pinckney, Michigan for over 35 years now. We opened officially, or unofficially I would say, probably 82, and then we incorporated Hell Survivors Inc. as 1984.
We're going to give away a 2018 VIP membership to Hell Survivors.
We do all kinds of birthday parties. We feature the 50 cal program for youngsters as young as 6 years old. We do recreational and open play every weekend. We do private parties, corporate outings during the week. And then, of course, we host some of the finest major events in the country right here at Hell Survivors. We have 12 different play fields that incorporate 10 different woods ball fields. We have 2 different speed ball or X-ball type fields down below, tournament style. And we've got like a 180-acre complex that encompasses all of our parking for major events, camping areas. We have a licensed state campgrounds on site. And of course the play fields, there's probably about 80 acres worth of play fields. There's a gigantic swamp area in the center which dries up towards the fall this time of the year, which you can traipse through. One of Bob Long's favorite hiding spots in the Tillies, as he called it. We offer a full rental line as far as Tipman markers. We feature the FT50 Light for the younger kids with a smaller nitro tank on it. And then we do the FT12 semi-auto markers by Tippmann for our semi-auto standard rental. And then we also feature the Phenom Select Fire full autos for people that want to rent a full auto. If you want to buy gear, we have 2 retail outlets right down the road here in Pinckney. Exotic Sports is our retail division, and we've been in business with retail for probably 25 years as well. And we also have a store in Taylor, Michigan, which is about an hour from here. Well, we have pros coming from all over the country, especially for our major events. Of course, we've got Rich Telford, first time here. That was nice to see him out here for the first time. And then we've got, of course, Nick Slowiak, one of our favorite general type guys. We've got, of course, Reaper comes from California. He's out here this weekend. And one a monster game a few years back, we had Mr. U and Bob Long did a face-off for a few years in a row. And Bob Long, he told me, he said, Dave, I played all over, and this is one of my favorite fields to play. And that was very humbling to me coming from Bob. He's a legend in the industry, and I respect him a lot, and his opinion, and his compliment.
Red team, 2,731 points yesterday.
These events wouldn't be possible without our title sponsor, GI Sportz. And this year's trilogy of events, next year, it's going to be the legacy of paintball, because we want to make it one-stop shopping for all of the local players. You can come and see a Viper game, you can do a Mission Masters, you can do a Hell Survivors game. We're also got some other great things in the works that we'll disclose later on this year. And 2018 is going to be a great year to be a VIP member here. I might just throw that in. And yeah, we're real happy and real excited about 2018.
Hey guys, welcome back to this UCF versus UConn game. We are about to head into the second half. Right now, UCF is beating UConn 4-0. UConn has had a really hard time coming up with any answer to get some points on the board. During the halftime, they were trying to figure out what they can do off the break to stay alive. They said UCF is shooting D1, it's shooting the snake, so we might see them try to push the center a little bit more here.
Well, thanks, Lauren. We've seen the center pushed by tons of teams out here. In fact, most of the guys that are pushing up into these center bunkers, the forward bunkers into the red zone, are making it clean. So it's the survivability off the break and the gunfights that teams are losing that really cost them points. We'll see here now as these teams switch sides here in the second half of this semifinal matchup. The Knights with an overwhelming 4-point lead here. UConn looking like they have a body in the box here for 28 seconds.
Looking like Knights pushing down D into D2 as usual in this matchup. They're being the more aggressive team coming down the field, especially with UConn down a player.
Even when UConn tries to dictate the pace of the game and push forward, the Knights have been shooting that guy out. So it's just been all Knights so far, really proving why they are the defending champs.
Knights into D3. Into the red zone, first into the red zone. Looks like we got that player coming out of penalty box, coming all the way to the mini wall behind the snake bunk and making it. The Knights into snake 1, looking to shoot out that player. Now into snake 2. As we said, being the more aggressive team here. Looking for that cross-field shot on the temple behind D1.
Well, like what I'm seeing out of Malik Santos, so that bodes well. If you can get your ones, your first attackers always set the tempo and the pace of the game. And Malik Santos quickly finding himself into snake 2, but doing it calm and methodical. He knows that he has a 4-point lead. He didn't risk anything, didn't go in any guns.
Definitely. I like how they're keeping these guys at bay here on UConn side of snake. Looks like that back-centered stand-up is keeping everyone at bay. There looks like Santos sliding into snake 50. Getting that eliminating shot on the mini tower in the center back. Now looking to get that shot on the tower behind D1. Santos doing work at the current moment, Matt.
Yeah, Santos, the calm, methodical killer so far in this point here. Looks like the Knights do lose a body on that D side, but then Phil up into D2 immediately. And there's no one in those Doritos you can see for UConn as the ref's going to check out their player in that back stand-up. And here comes the push for UConn into the snake, getting into snake 1. trying to present some sort of threat for Santos. Santos now gets the communication. His coach is right beside him. So Santos got to be careful not to come out, though, as both players in front of him are looking down this sideline. He also doesn't have a back player to help him, so he's got to play real tight in this spot here. You can see UConn, that player, is all he's been doing this entire time since he slid in is just watching that lane. He has not dropped that lane once. Now Santos is going to come out. Santos got to be careful. At least he puts him back in. Santos looks like he wants to reestablish that lane. No, he's going to go back to shooting at D1. So Santos needs to just relax a little bit in here. They have a huge lead. There's 7 minutes left. They burnt 3 minutes off this clock so far in this first point. Everyone's looking at him. He has 3 of the 4 guns left alive. I think actually UConn lost that player out of the stand-up temple. Yeah, so there's 3 players left alive for UConn. And they are pretty much all looking at Santos, which makes me wonder what are the other guys on the Knights doing. So there's the Knights on your screen here at the stand-up temple there, and also at D2. So with Santos in here, with all these guns looking at him, those guys need to be looking to make moves. Now, they don't have to. They really don't have to make moves. They already have a huge lead, so they can, if they want, just hang out in those bunkers. That's totally fine. But because all the guns are looking at Santos, if nobody's shooting at you for a 2-minute period, you might want to think about taking a forward move.
Yeah, forward progression would be good at this point. And then, you know, they did call story time, and here comes the push down the tape, trying to take Santos out. Oh, and a red flag on Santos.
So Santos, that is not what he wanted to do right there. That's going to let UConn back in this match slightly, as Green's going to come up and stitch.
Oh, nope, Green's going to get stitched
Green got
himself.
smoked, so Green totally forgot about the back temple. I thought he was going to cut inside a little bit more than that. Ends up coming a little bit wider, and he gets taken out. So, and then they lose another body too. Actually, they lose all 3 bodies. So, and when Santos got that penalty, and we all looked at him, looking at the refs, calling that penalty, UConn losing bodies. So the Knights still stealing it here. Even when it looks like, for sure UConn should get the point,
no,
still doesn't work out for him.
And there was a yellow flag being thrown in the air right at the end of the match here, Matt, by one of our sideline judges. I don't know what that was about.
Well, I think what happened is before the point was over, one of the pit crew came onto the field, and that's going to be a minor infraction. You can't have your pit crew come onto the field of play while a point is actively being played. Look at this run through here. That's the Santos penalty. And the refs, both refs running over there and making that call. Santos is like, what? Me?
What?
I didn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, come on. That wasn't me. This isn't the snake player you're looking for, bro.
But fortunately for Santos, Catfish, it ended up working out. His boys picked him up. And able to get those quick gunfight wins.
And even when UConn seems to get a shining light in a major, it just doesn't go their way.
Well, let's check in with Laura. Maybe she's got. Maybe she can clear some of this confusion.
Well, I have some information for you about that minor penalty thrown at the end there. Basically, the last body that was on the field for UConn, he was dead, and he was yelling to his team on the sidelines to concede the point, which you're not allowed to do. So that minor stands, and UConn will be starting a body down because of that.
In Florida, when it rains, it pours, my friend.
Yeah, this has been the same story here in these points as UCF. No matter what happens, they find a way to keep bodies alive to assure that they win the point. They did burn a ton of time off that clock, though, Catfish, so that's a good thing. You heard that story time call earlier. Again, story time essentially is a code, a little paintball jargon that means roll your guns, talk it up, and you do not need to go anywhere. We have a big lead. We need to burn time off.
Yeah. These last couple points have been real long points, man, and I mean that's exactly what the Knights need right now, and that's what they want. I mean, UConn isn't making any forward progression against them, so I mean, why are they going to go into the guns if they have a cushion, big cushion?
Well, and that's what I was saying as all the guns were looking at Santos for a good minute and a half. There's 3 bodies left alive on UConn. All were looking at Santos, so we're thinking, okay, hey, maybe you should start making your move over there on the D side of the field, but.
Story time, sir.
But they don't really need to because, again, now an even bigger lead. 5-0 is the score. Here in the semifinal match, looking like UCF should be able to coast through this one and move to the final game. But we will see. Stick with us. The 2018 National Collegiate Paintball Association Championships been going down this whole weekend, and we are starting to figure out what the story is going to be, at least for the very beginning of the story, for our final match. And it's looking like UCF, the defending title holders, are going to be punching their ticket to go in. There's still some time left in this second half, but the utter domination that we have seen, as you can see there, 5-0 is your score. Both teams with penalties. The Knights getting that penalty on Malik Santos, a minute 32 on that one, and then a minute and 51 seconds on the UConn minor. So both teams starting with 4 here, Catfish.
Yeah, pretty even spread. Each team mirrored each other coming out of the blocks here. Looks like the Knights player is shifting over to the D side as I say that, D1 throws in a D2 at ease. No one shooting that way on the back line there. Everyone looking on Snake side. Looks like one player shifting his gun over to D side.
I know that UConn is 2 points away from a potential mercy rule loss, but if with 5 minutes left, knowing I need 5 points, I would not be coming out with traditional breakouts.
Yeah, not at all.
I would be pushing forward. I would be attempting, because I would rather at least give my team a chance to have any chance at all of winning by attacking and run the risk of getting mercy ruled than play a traditional point and then end up basically assuring yourselves a loss.
Yeah, definitely. And you don't want to get mercy ruled in this deep into the tournament. I mean, at this point in the tournament, these guys has got to be seasoned, and you know they just got to know the layout and know their lanes. Oh, as the guy coming out of the penalty box just gets mowed down by the Doritos. Not looking good for UConn. UConn player diving into Snake 1. As he dives in, a Knight player dives into D1, and the Knight player strolling out to the back bunker behind the Snake, giving the Snake player some needed cover here.
Now a move being made by UConn on the D side, getting into D2. We're at the 4-minute mark now. Knights just trying to steal this victory up by burning time, but Knights losing a body in that backfield, trying to get out of the box.
Yep.
So he was in the penalty box, and he gets shot about a half step coming out of the box. So nice job by UConn to find a lane there to get that shot.
Yeah, that's they needed that guy off the field. Looks like UConn dropping some bodies on the D side. Looks like there's a Snake player trying to make a run through here, and makes it not clean, but he makes it through.
Well, Green gets the first guy, and then ends up getting taken out, trying to look for a second kill. Off of that, UConn able to get a body out wide here, Snake side, back corner bunker, and he's going to push forward, knowing that he needs a lot of points and they don't have a lot of time, diving into the 50 Snake.
I think it's a one-on-one, Matt. If that's a one-on-one, you don't. That's not.
Now there's for sure 2 players left alive for UConn.
Is there?
As they have a body in D3 right now. They're now on your screen, moving up, and
yeah, you're right. Oh, that might be a penalty there. No,
well, I think he's just going to sprint in. And it looks like Robert Silverman is going to put the first point on the board here for UConn to make it a 4-point spread with 3 minutes and 2 seconds to go. If he's clean. Looks like
he is clean.
Looks like there's the thumbs up from the ref.
Looks like they're on the board now. Boys, UConn is on the board.
Yeah, a couple gunfight losses, which we've seen all weekend long. I'm really interested to see how this field is going to play come Dallas here in a couple weeks, May 4th through the 6th in the NXL when the pros hit the field. Because survivability has been an issue. But look at this run through here on that Snake side to clear that bunker out. And that kind of opened things up for Silverman, though.
Yeah.
Because as soon as that body came off, a couple more bodies died at that same time. So that's a nice run through by Green. That's what you want to see. That's all we can ask for is aggression. When you're down a huge point spread, it's 5-0 and you only have 5 minutes left. That's the time when, if you're a coach or us up here, it's like, look, we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Any sort of aggressive move you make, if you end up getting shot out, hey, no big deal, because that's your only choice. If you're hiding in your bunker, your opponents aren't going to run at you if they know what they're doing with a 5-point lead.
So if they don't know what they're doing, they're probably going to run at you.
But yeah, so come Dallas, the NXL, make sure to go to Go Sports and sign up and watch the battle that's going to go down at the second professional event of the year here in the States. But I wonder if survivability is going to be as big of an issue for the pros as it has been for the college guys. We were going to have to wait to find out. Let's check in again with Lauren.
Hey guys, UConn managed to finally get a point on the board here, and I think a lot of it came down to sideline coaching as well. There was really good sideline coaching going on for them on the Snake side. When Silverman was in the Snake corner, his coach was telling him that UCF was in D2 and he needed to run all the way down the Snake, which really helped to close that point out.
Well, we've been asking for communication out of UConn at the beginning of this match, and so finally some good communication provides them a point.
Kind of late in the match, though. Looks like the Knights running to that little stand-up on the D side. That's the first time I've seen that used. This is the UConn players crawling into Snake 2. Looking to go into Snake 50. Looks like the Knights are just going to try and eat the clock up here. Not making too many aggressive moves. The Knights shifting out to the stand-up behind Snake, making it there. One Knight player rolling off the D side.
So just 4 players left alive as the Knights are trying to keep the attack from pushing forward for UConn. UConn up at that 50 there on your screen. You can see the Knights tucked in their spots, rolling their guns. No forward progression for them. Trying to burn this 2 minutes and 15 seconds off the clock. Punch their ticket to the finals where Liberty already awaits them.
Yeah. Looks like for the first time in this match, it looks like UConn controlling the red zone. They got 3 players in the red zone. Looks like the Knights have 4 players alive in the back. All 4 back. Well, not all 4 back bunkers, but the mini wall behind Snake. Looks like everyone's crossed up, and they're just going to try and chop them up as they come in.
Yeah, move into the red zone here on the Snake side of the field. Yeah. They have 3 bodies in the red zone now. Make it 4. Actually, no, make it 3 again as one of the bodies dies. Trying to wrap around to get those inside shots from the D side.
Oh, man. Looks like UConn has a back player just out here behind the Snake, kind of chilling. Looks like a UConn player going to make a push up and going to try to make a run through here, make something happen. Gets eliminated, takes one with him.
I think that was Pham on the attack here for UConn. Looks like 2 bodies come off as Pham runs through. Nice work for Pham. Unfortunately for UConn, there's just 1 minute and 14 seconds left. There's still a couple bodies left alive for the Knights, and there's a 4-point lead to worry about. There's Cheatham in the back. He's still alive. Back bunker on the Snake side, rolling his gun. Another body comes off for the Huskies on that D side. So Catfish, they're starting to lose options here.
Yeah, it looks like they dropped that D side, Matt, actually. Is there anyone left on this
the
side?
guy that's in the back bunker over here on the Snake side, and now he's just going to cut all the way towards the D side.
Wisely goes over there and try and control that. Looks like it's a 3-on-2, Matt.
Yeah, running and gunning.
Is it a 3-on-2 in favor?
No, there's only 1 player left alive for UConn, unless, 50 Snake and now D3.
50 Snake is now eliminated, Matt. Looks like Green poked out into a paintball. Looks like the Knights are just going to give this guy a little back massage, possibly.
Yeah, he's trying to cut through the center, get an angle on the last player.
Oh, yeah.
Well, screaming flag, really don't need to, there's no need to sprint this in. And he should just, okay, I was going to say, wait till you're under 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Save the energy, boys. You're going to the finals. You look good doing it. You're the defending champs.
Defending champs going back, fighting for that throne.
Yeah, so the University of Central Florida Knights, pretty dominant performance here against UConn.
Dominant, real strong.
Well, they were better across the board. When I'm looking at Liberty and UCF, I think that Liberty is a little bit more aggressive than UCF.
Yes.
So heading into this final match, I think as far as we're looking at the check boxes and strengths and weaknesses, I wouldn't say that aggression is a weakness for UCF. They are definitely aggressive. I just think that Liberty, with the way they're pushing that D side and the way they're pushing the Snake side, I really think that they're maybe a couple notches more aggressive than UCF. But UCF has done a really good job of winning gunfights and pulling off those crazy points when the points start to seesaw either way. And we saw that out here in this match.
Yeah, definitely. And UCF have been there. They've been there 4 times, apparently, to the finals. And actually, this is Liberty's first time in the finals, I believe. So they made it to the dance finally, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Liberty has never won this tournament before. UCF, they're old hats at this. So it looks like we have Lauren, and she's down with Casey Cheatham.
Thanks, Maddie. Congratulations. You guys are moving on to the finals. We see UCF in the finals a lot, so this isn't a huge surprise. You guys did have a slower start to the weekend while you were still figuring out the layout, getting your team chemistry on the field, but you will be playing Liberty. They knocked FAU out, which was a bit of a surprise. I think they were the underdog going into that match, but Liberty is a really offensive team. They're not so great defensively. They're really good offensively. You guys are also attackers. So when you know you're playing a team whose strength is offensive, what's your approach to that?
We really just need to go watch them. We're going to watch the webcast. We're going to figure out what they're doing. And if we're able to get a kill off the break or 2 kills off the break and have to make them go on the defensive, that's when we know we'll win.
And talk to me a little bit about this field layout. Obviously, you can push the center or you can spread it out. What do you think is a better execution for you guys on this layout?
For us, I mean, I think we're Florida paintball players, so we like to push. So spreading it out, and when we have the chance to go up the gut and wreck them. I mean, we have killers that can do anything, so it's just whatever we feel we need to do.
All right, well, we will be seeing UCF battle it out against Liberty. Go ahead, give me your shout out.
Shout out to Brandon Evans' mom. She's going through chemo right now, so prayers your way.
All right, thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Back to you guys.
Well, a winded Casey Cheatham, and he deserves it, man. He played great. His team played great, and you can see the utter frustration on the faces, and a really tough loss here for UConn. They're taking it pretty hard over here in the pits, 1,000-yard stairs. So there is the final bracket. In the finals, it's going to be the Liberty University Flames for the very first time trying to win this tournament. And the salty veterans of the University of Central Florida Knights going to try to repeat here and win 2 years in a row. So we're going to be back with that final matchup after the lunch break, so stick with us here. 2018 National Collegiate Paintball Association Championships. We'll see you in just a bit.